Well, hello there, Ubertuberettes, Ubertubers and tuberettes. Sorry, I messed up my own greeting. Hello. That's sad when a guy can't get his own greeting right. Come on now. Anyway, it's good to see you. Come on in, have a seat. Baby carrots is the thing to do today. Got some baby carrots the other day, and why not? Pretty good stuff. I wanted to go over a couple of things with you. I haven't been watching the news at all. I kind of feel like I'm in some sort of news-free zone. I haven't picked up this phone in days, and that's the only real source of news I have. I don't listen to the radio in the truck anymore, and I don't know why. I don't have a TV. I haven't had one of those in years. I have another account on Facebook, but I haven't looked at Facebook hardly at all in the last 4 months, 5 months. I just kind of quit looking. I don't know why. Anyway, I decided in the last few days, I've been going through a lot of emotional weirdness, I'd call it. And in case, I hope this doesn't shock you too much, in case you didn't know, I do use marijuana. And I'm not on it right now, but at least a few of those videos that I've made have had at least, shall we say, a tinge. But what I'm finding is this really weird sense of, it's like being in an emotional desert or something like that. So, as an example, yesterday I bought a 6-pack of beer. And I think by the middle of the night, like 1 o'clock in the morning, I woke up. I forgot that I still had the beer in the fridge. So I had a beer, and I think that was number 3 or 4. I can't remember out of the 6-pack. Anyway, the short version is I got up this morning, there was 2 beers left. So I went ahead and had 2 beers for breakfast. Well, it wasn't a work day, so it won't hurt anybody. But I just been looking at those kind of numbers lately and thinking, well, that's a lot of beer, Mike. So I've been cutting back on that. Last week I was down about to, instead of a 6-pack a day, for the whole week I had 2 6-packs plus 1 quart. And so, there's plenty of nights in there where I didn't have any at all. So I'm just trying to think about all this stuff, and I'm thinking, there's this real strange sense of being cut off, being lonely, being alienated. And I think I've talked about this in these videos, that there's a sort of a war for your mind out there, and you can tell when you're involved with the enemy, because he's trying to make you feel like you're all alone, like you're the only one out there who sees this stuff. So we're in a spirit war, and the enemy does not fight fair. But at any rate, I've been thinking with the chemicals here. Now, it's been 4 weeks plus since I had a cigarette. And I tell you, when you mix tobacco with THC and alcohol, you get a pretty potent mix and a lot of real interesting boom boom in the head. But, none of it's really redeeming, or it's not like you're going to remember tomorrow what you even thought about. But it is interesting at the time to watch these ideas go by. But at any rate, I got to thinking, I don't really deal with human beings. I don't talk to them other than here on this algorithm. Okay, there's people I talk to at work because I have to. There's people at the grocery store I say hello to, when I go over there and pick up something. There's people at the gas station I used to greet when I was buying cigarettes. And so things like that. But in other words, I don't really associate with people, not voluntarily. And so I was talking it over yesterday after church with a lady I've known for years, and she's a good egg, and I think I'm going to begin seeing her, I guess you'd say, a little bit more. She's been kind enough. She has a bunch of movies at her house, and a great big TV set, and why don't you come on over and we'll watch a movie. So at any rate, we're going to go watch a movie at the theater on Tuesday. So we kind of have like a date there. I haven't done that in years. And so it's just so weird to me that it's like, I'm not associating with human beings. And there's these huge changes that are coming up socially and politically and culturally and in terms of our faith and who knows, maybe it's the end of the age. Maybe Jesus is coming soon. And, in other words, we could be talking about really, now I don't expect from me a lot of stuff about the rapture. Okay, I don't buy the rapture theory as it's usually presented. I think it was a novelty that was invented in the 19th century by some teenage girls, but we won't go there for now. But the point is that I've been thinking, we've got this deal at our church called Celebrate Recovery. I keep wanting to say Celebrate Discovery, but that's not it. And I thought, well, I've never even intended to go to one of those meetings, so I'm going to go tonight. It'll be about 5:30 or so when I go over, and I've never been to one before, and so we'll see, what it's like. But it just seems so strange to me that our hearts were not intended to be going solo all the time. You should have humans to talk to now and again, preferably family, someone's close to you, someone who knows you well, someone who knows you well enough to argue with you. I don't know anyone like that. And, I only see my family, well, a couple of times a year. They live up in Albuquerque. And so I just got to thinking about it today. It's been a very, very slow day, very unusual, kind of slark. And by me not going out and buying any beer, and for over 4 weeks now having no cigarettes, it puts me in a weird state of mind where I'm beginning to wonder also, besides this stuff, whether or not the blood pressure medications, I'm on 2 of them now, are also messing with my mind. In other words, the way that you would tell whether your mind's being messed with, I guess, would be whether you feel like yourself or not. Do I feel like myself, I guess. And so I think I do feel like myself, but a self that just seems awfully blasted lonely. And so I thought, well, I guess it's not really a sin to be lonely. The sin part either comes before or after. And in other words, I've made a life pattern really out of just getting out of dealing with people. I mean, I just go around it. I just, that's something I drive around. I don't go through that. And so I think maybe that some of that needs to change. So I thought, well, I'm going to go listen to these guys and see what they have to say, and see how this the Celebrate Recovery thing works and stuff. But I've never been a big fan of 12-step programs, but then I've never participated in one either. So maybe I could learn something, But I thought, at least try it out for a night or two, go for a couple of weeks, and find out really where it's at on the kind of the scale of do I need to attend to this? Do I need to pay attention? And so is it stuff like, learn to eat healthy food? I'm still on that one. The doc wants me to eat healthy, and now I'm just thinking, how do you fill in that category? So, hey, baby carrots can't be bad for you, right? So my idea of healthy eating probably needs to have a little bit of a work done on it. But I just got to thinking, the sense in my mind that there's something huge going on that I can't seem to lay my finger on corresponds also with this weird news cycle thing that bumps up these disasters like crazy, but then they never amount to anything. and it's like everything is this weird logjam of, well, we're waiting to have a huge catastrophe. And we've already got it in the making. We just need to kind of do a little organization and get the catastrophe catastrophized. And I don't know what I'm even looking at. I've never seen a fall like this in terms of political stuff. I've never seen anything like this where the DNC has a candidate that no one voted for. No one. And the thing is that that's just the beginning of it. I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg. But I'm just wondering, in terms of our response, as humans or as Christians, as believers, as people who can understand what's happening in our world at least a little bit, I think that there's huge changes coming, and I don't like the way those changes look at all. I think that what we're going to end up having is much more a centralized control, where data control is humongously important, and pretty soon, there's the phone right there. I was going to look for the phone. I'm talking to it. Pretty soon, without this data link thing, you won't be able to do anything, I guess. Well, that sounds like a bad situation to me. So, I mean, I find it very depressing. I find it lonely. And I find it weird that I can't find anyone in the church who's willing to talk about it. The church folks that I know apparently don't think about these topics. They don't come up. The idea that, we could very well be at the end of the age, or very close to it. Something like 39 to 40% of people, depending on the poll you look at, believe in America that we are at or near the end of the age, end of the world. And I don't know exactly how to contribute to that. I mean, my senses, all my little spidey senses, they tell me, yeah, that probably is a pretty decent bet. But can I lay odds and find a deal and place it where we're at in the book of Revelation so that we know how much more time we have? No, I'm not going to bother trying to do that. But I can tell you that as time goes on, the things that are going to break down, as you depend more and more upon this cyber digital crutch called the phone, or however that linkage works, as you depend more and more on that, what's going to break down is the connection to real people. Real conversations with people you actually know, people who know you, and can sort through your phony baloney, when you're blowing smoke and all that stuff. So I just thought I need to associate more with real human people, and put down this loner guy, this kind of lone wolf thing that I've been running that most of my life as an example, but a lot of that had to do with trust issues about whether I could even trust people to love them, because they're going to hurt you, they're going to break your heart. Well, yeah, that's the way things go. So as a 6-year-old or an 8-year-old, I think I responded by saying, well, in that case, just don't love and you won't get hurt. Duh, how hard was that to figure out? But as almost a 66-year-old, I'm looking at it thinking, I should have gone in for the other option where you do get hurt and you do love. And it's taken me a long, long time to learn that lesson. And now I'm so far behind the game, I don't even know where to start. So I'm going to go out with my friend Diane, and we'll watch movies and have a good time. And maybe I can learn to talk to women in the process too. It couldn't hurt, Dad. But at any rate, I just wanted to kind of pass that on to you today, that I feel like I'm going through a lot of big changes. And if on the inside I feel all kind of scared and sheared off, alone, there's no one to talk to, there's no one nearby, then I know that I'm hearing something false. There's something from the enemy that's coming through, because the message of the good news, the message of the gospel, is not you've been cut off and you're all alone and there's no help. That is not the gospel message. The gospel message is, in your having been cut off, we've been cut off from God. We've been cut off from the fellowship with the Almighty and the fellowship with His holy ones, due to our intransigent sin and the track record we have, which does not recommend us very well at all for righteousness. But getting into all this, we find, or at least I find, that my net result is so often just to simply shear off, disconnect from people, and just tune them out, and just deal with things myself, and boom, 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 and a lot of this business with the cigarettes has to do with a tension, a fear. Are they going to catch me at it? And a lot of the alcohol, I think, has to do with slow down. And so it's like speed up and slow down all at the same time. That's what alcohol and beer do. And you'll see this a lot in people. You go to a bar, watch people at bars. The tobacco draws them out, so they talk. The beer calms them down so they can listen. But it's all distorted. So I got to thinking, well, go over to, and I'm not going to go hire a counselor and pay somebody $80 an hour to talk to them and tell them how lonely and crappy I feel. No, I'll just talk to somebody for real. And, maybe I'll buy the guy, a healthy meal. If we can figure out where to find one. Anyway, I just wanted to encourage you some that you're not alone. And if you feel like you are, if you're feeling kind of panicky, if you feel like maybe you're getting edgy and something's got to jump, well, go sit down, find a place where you can deal with human beings face to face and listen to what they have to say, and try to be as honest as you can, in the process, and we're going to acknowledge Jesus in all this. In the middle of this, he's calling us back to himself. He's rebuilding us according to the image of Christ in us. And so the image is the image of righteousness, integrity, loyalty, truthfulness, goodness, all of the sort of royal excellencies which we see in the person of Jesus Christ. Well, he's duplicating those kinds of character attributes into his people. That's you. And let me tell you, it's a little painful. I remember a thing where C.S. Lewis was talking one time, and he was talking about sanctification, I guess, and he was saying that we had the idea of sanctification that, well, what it meant was someone was going to come in, maybe pull a mirror down and dust behind it, and maybe spruce up the paint in the corner, and maybe take the rug out in the back and shake it, get the dust off it or whatever. And we were okay with those changes, okay? But when the bulldozer showed up and started knocking walls down, and we're sitting there saying, wait a minute, this is my house. These changes he's inaugurating in us will be far-ranging indeed, but they're good. And he's re-equipping us for really an eternity of joy, an eternity of being in his presence with him, and referring to the goodness, which is him. Seeing that as like the food that keeps us going. It's the center that keeps all of our flying aparts for keep him in the same basket. We would fly apart and I think lose it pretty bad if he wasn't at the center guiding and changing us. And so we need to be confident that even if you are feeling sketchy, if you feel lonely, if you feel scared, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world yet. Find someone you can talk to, and there are real people, and be patient. Be patient, because the changes he's making in you are permanent, and they're going to take time, and they're going to hurt, but the results of them will be good. The discipline of the Lord is what straightens people and makes them able to be used. Paul says things like, when I am weak, then I am strong. And so we've got to admit our weakness. I've got to admit the fact that after all these years, I still don't know how to drink the right way. After all these years, I still don't know how to eat the right way. In fact, I can't even put myself to sleep at night. I don't know how to go to sleep at night the right way. So, in 66 years almost, I haven't learned a whole lot. So we're coming into a period of change, and I think we need to be bold. And the way to be bold is just come out, shake somebody's hand, and say, hi, I'm just a human like you. Let's be friends. We can try it at least. And the thing is that the Lord, he blesses those who love. He blesses those who show kindness. He blesses those who remember to defend the weak and the helpless. He blesses those who are the friends of truth and will not back down. So be more like Jesus, I guess we'd say. Yeah. But for that, we're going to need help. And that's why he came. So be confident. This thing's going to work. No matter what it looks like right now. It looks like chaos. Oh, yeah. But he's going to make it right. He's going to make it right in our lives. And that means you'll be at peace. You'll be at a place in your connectedness with him, where you're at peace with who you are and at peace with the world he's made, which will be perfect by then. It will be a new creation. And so, I guess that's a lot to say, right, for a Monday morning, but actually Monday afternoon. But I just kind of wanted to come out and talk with you guys today, and thanks for watching. I appreciate it. You guys, you make a lot of difference to me. The fact that there are actually some people who will listen, no matter how crazy things get. God bless. Have a good day.